Welcome to another episode of
Nerd Out!
Yeah, here we are. It's exciting. We have MP-28 Masterpiece Hot Rodimus. This is the second Masterpiece Hot Rod or Rodimus that Takara Tomy has done.
And according to you, the funnest masterpiece to date.
Well, I wouldn't have said funnest. I would have said most fun masterpiece.
That's what I meant. But either way, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for this. First of all, this is coming off of Ironhide, which we both were pretty into Ironhide. I think Ironhide felt kind of like a masterpiece again. And Hot Rod here, first thoughts out of the box is vehicle mode. It's a little wonky.
It's a little weak. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I'm nitpicking. I don't know if it's nitpicking or not, but like, when you see all this stuff and you can like see through it and like you could hide a light and it shine through and stuff.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Like, yeah, it's wonky. It's like what you said. The plastic doesn't match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely we'll get to all that. That now, this is magenta, and there are different tones of magenta, and particularly in the elbow area. It's kind of weird. It does not match. But the thing is there's other areas where that magenta is mismatching, and I'm not sure if it's intended or if it's just mismatching. I think my biggest problem is it doesn't roll. It does not roll in vehicle mode, and
it does not.
It doesn't have the clearance to roll. And this is where rubber tires would have really worked out well.
And more clearance.
I mean,
the whole thing, there's like nothing under there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like no place for it to go.
Right.
Yeah, rubber tires would have helped that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no die-cast metal, so again, call that, however, some people like die-cast metal, some people don't. I like die-cast metal. I think it makes it feel masterpiece. Transformation-wise, I thought it is so much fun.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like something to say, but I just think it's okay.
It's just okay?
It's okay. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad.
It doesn't blow your mind.
It didn't blow my mind, except the backpack.
Yeah, the backpack folds.
I thought that was really nice how that did it. That was neat.
Everything folds in smoothly. I will say, I believe this is probably the most simple transformation of all masterpieces. But with that, everything fits in the most smooth than all the masterpieces tend to have an area which is
you have to flex. This one you don't really have to flex.
Not really.
It does go right.
Not really. I think it's a solid construction. Nothing looks like it's gonna break. There are some paint to it. It doesn't feel like there's gonna be any paint chips. It has some chrome. I like chrome.
Do you like the sprue marks on the chrome?
I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Where's
bummer, like right on top.
I didn't notice it.
I'm usually not that guy that gripes about it,
mm-hmm.
but right there on top, like 4 of them.
I don't know that mine are so prevalent.
Well, that's
I do see them. I didn't notice that on mine, but mine are folded in now. He is taller than the other masterpieces. Do you think his scale is good cartoon-wise?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know what to say about him. He's great, but he's not great. No, he's great, but it's sort of like you compare him to this, and it's like...
Well, let's do that.
Okay, let's do it.
MP-9 is legendary for being shit on, and I like MP-9.
I liked it too.
But it does deserve a little bit of doo-doo, because it really is not
fragile.
Fun. It is.
It was very fragile.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I wish they would have fixed this.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
could you have, though? With the Hot Rod and Rodimus gimmick, did that sort of take away the ability to make a large...
Then, okay, they could have got rid of that gimmick. Like, fixing it would involve getting rid of that gimmick. But it's like, although this has its issues, it still feels like a more premium piece than this.
It absolutely does.
And that's
feel
like what...
a premium piece.
And it's like, I guess if this never would have existed, I might have thought this was great.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that they can come up with these real...
But aesthetically, do you prefer the MP-09?
Yes.
Like, do you?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I mean, but I'd still rather have this because it's a better toy.
I get what you're saying. This brings me to my next point. I absolutely actually rather love Hot Rod, even though he's got flaws. But what your point was, and you said this last episode, and it really, really sunk in with me, is that Masterpiece really isn't any longer a way to describe the product. It's more a scale thing. Whereas I think the old MP-9 had elements of being a masterpiece. Whereas the new Hot Rod is more like they should just rename the line Transformers Legends, because you're still getting a high quality product, a lot of fun, but it doesn't have the elements of, I'm sorry, I know that we all differ, but for a masterpiece, has to have die-cast metal and rubber tires, or at least that sort of weight and element.
Die-cast would help. I mean, I would agree with you. I would agree with you. It's like, but this is a display piece. This is a toy.
Okay, fair.
That's sort of like this shouldn't say 15 and up. This should say 10 and up.
Is that what it says?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think so, but can I look at it?
Yeah, no, go ahead. I tend to agree with you. This is fun as hell, and speaking of fun, it is super articulated. Like, you can't... Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to...
I don't think it's on... Yeah, I don't even think it says.
The articulation's phenomenal on this.
It's great. It is. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, it is, to me, we're disagreeing, or maybe not.
I don't think we're disagreeing, because as much as I'm not feeling this...
Right.
I can't say there's anything wrong with it. I mean...
Well, I think there's things wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean, sure. But, I mean, without being overly critical, I'm not going to sit here and say this thing is a piece of shit. Because it's not.
You don't feel the same way you did about Trax with this? Or do you?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you hated Trax.
Trax is a fail.
Yeah.
This is a pass, but not with flying colors.
Okay.
It passes. Right. This is the least I would want to see as a masterpiece. You get a chance to go to the 8th grade
with that. But, with
this
Trax,
gets moved on, but it's not going to be in remedial classes. Where it's like the Trax is just, no.
You know what? One of my major problems with this is I hate the weapon colors, and I hate this this purplish color on the boots, and I'll tell you why. Because they did it to sort of match the animation, and I understand
it should be black, right?
It should be either gray or black. Yeah. But what they're doing is, if you're gonna make a cartoon, all the blacks are gonna be painted purple so you can see them better, and they translate that into the toys, and that bothers me. Like, I think this should be a dark gray. I think the weapons should be a dark gray, but they're trying to give it that animation feel, and I know people dig that, not me.
See,
like, that's my
issue.
Shit.
I mean,
you do
I don't know why why people are so tied to the toys and the toy accuracy.
See, I think it's the opposite.
I mean, it was a toy line. And it's like, I mean, I guess that's a stupid thing to say. But I always thought as a kid they looked so much better on the cartoon.
I thought they were Yes, they moved, but...
I thought the toys were compromised. I'm like, why can't this toy do what it does in the cartoon? Why doesn't it look like that? I was frustrated with it.
See, my best example is the He-Man cartoon, and this is why. Yeah. Because He-Man Masters of the Universe as a toy line came out first, before the cartoon did.
I remember that.
And they looked really, like, rugged and, like, evil and like, you know. They
turned out to be pussies.
They look like, they look like Frank Frazetta paintings. Yep. And then they turned out to be, like, totally, like, goofy faced, like, bleh, meh. And
Prince Adam pissed me off.
Yeah, Orko and Prince Adam.
Yeah, like, why did you put Prince Adam in it?
I did not like that concept at all.
Yeah,
I hated
and he was never in the comic books either.
No. Oh, he wasn't. I never read the comic.
Prince Adam was made just for the...
Same thing with Orko.
Yeah, they just invented him.
But yeah, for sure. And that's one of those elements where I totally like, damn, that did not translate well to cartoon. I guess Transformers, again, it seems to be 50-50. Some people prefer, like, toy aesthetic, and some people prefer cartoon aesthetic. I think these are kind of a nice mix.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people complain about the chest should be more narrow.
But it's closer to the toy, and you like that.
Yes, I do like that.
I don't.
I do.
But I mean, I didn't even know that, but now that you said it, I went back and looked. I'm like, they're intentionally doing that.
You think so?
I think they're intentionally. I think this looks like the way he does intentionally to mimic the G1. And so I have more respect for that. I don't like it, but like, I can't hold it against it.
Right. I get, okay. I had the G1 toy, not necessarily as a child, but like as a teenager or whatever, like I was starting to get back into it. And playing with this sort of reminds me of playing with the toy, but like, of course, updated. Like if you flip over the underbelly, it looks like almost exactly like the old G1 toy underbelly. I dig it.
I don't.
I know.
That pissed me off.
Yeah,
like, what
you were
is this? But then I went, like what you said, I went back and I looked at them like, wow, it's intentional.
Yeah, so I think it was.
So, you know, like with me, I don't have to like what they do. If it's intentional, I respect it. You know? Or it's like just not a glaring oversight on their part.
Right. I think the visor feature's cool.
I like that too.
If you open up the head, you can flip over under the visor and give him that visor look. I like it. There are a lot of things you can say negative about Hot Rod, and I would understand it. I would understand people's criticisms about it. But I compare it to like a song you might like, even though knowing it's not the most best constructed song. Like, I know that it's got its flaws, but every time I pick it up, I enjoy it. I like it. I enjoy having it to my collection. With that said, they need to remove the name Masterpiece because I think it is misleading, because these are not the same level of Masterpiece. Like Wai Zhang, those are like Masterpiece.
Yeah, that is a step. Well, a couple steps above this.
Yeah, it's way.
You know, but the whole thing is, I think the Ironhide is at least
I do too.
2 grades above this.
I do too. I love the Ironhide.
And I don't hate this. By any means, I keep saying that.
Right.
But it's sort of like that's what's weird about Masterpiece. Is the deviance in...
They're inconsistent.
Yeah, they're inconsistent.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say quality, because this is a good quality toy, but not even complexity, but just somebody wanted to make the best goddamn Ironhide you could ever make, and they made it. Somebody wanted to make a pretty decent Hot Rod, and they made that too. And it's just,
I do agree with you. They're inconsistent. But overall, like, I think these retail for about 70, let's just say 70, 75 bucks. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth every penny, even with its flaws.
Yeah.
It comes with a fishing pole. I just want to mention it.
Paul said he was going to take me fishing today. Yay!
Again, people who really like the cartoon, this is a cute accessory. I don't really...
It was introduced with the fishing pole.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really need it with my action figure, but I think it's a nice little bonus. I like this buzzsaw hand, though, how it fits in, and it spins pretty well. Any other comments about Hot Rod? Like, you just seem ambivalent about it.
I am. Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like I wish I liked it or hated it more. But I think it's great. It's okay. It's okay.
It fits its bill. It
fills in Hot Rod for the collection, and I guess that's the most you can ask for.
Yeah. Were you disappointed though?
No.
Okay.
Wasn't disappointed, but I wasn't. Well, yeah, but I had really high expectations. I expected
really.
I don't know. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, but I wasn't let down. I think it was sort of right where I expected it to be.
Yeah. Me too. With its flaws, I love it. With that said, I don't know if it's right for you. It depends on what your needs are.
Yeah, it's right for you. Just get it. I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Get it. I mean, if you collect Masterpiece,
you should get it. Yeah.
It's a fair addition to your collection.
It is fun. So please subscribe, like,
comment.
Check us out on Twitter and Facebook.
Instagram.
And Instagram. Make your you already said comments. So until next time.
No.